It's hard to believe that almost 5 years have passed since Emergence Day. The bane of the humans on Serra was a boon for the gamers on Earth, as we plunged headlong into a grim new world of brutal cover-based combat and gorgeous visuals. The third-person shooter trilogy comes to a climax in Gears of War 3, and it is superb. Building on the savage shootouts and merciless melees of its predecessors, Gears of War 3 hones the series' signature action to a wickedly sharp edge. Cooperative and competitive opportunities are broader and better than ever, but the most stunning achievement is the campaign. It's an exhilarating, emotional, and thoroughly satisfying finale for the series, and it earns Gears of War 3 an honored place among the best shooters of the year. Things haven't been good for the Gears since the first cutscene of the series, and this time around the human race is really on the ropes. Having sacrificed their last civilized holdout in a desperate bid to destroy the Locusts, they now cling to survival in isolated forts and ships, teetering on the verge of extinction. The included Previously On video gives you a meager refresher, but the first act of the campaign sets the tone beautifully. It starts with a surreal surprise that undermines your expectations right from the get-go, and then it reacquaints you with the gruff, over-muscled members of Delta Squad.
I've got crops to take care of.
Gears of War has always done brash well, and this game is no exception. A salty new female squad member gives Baird a challenge for the most sarcastic COG award, and the coal train barrels along full steam ahead. Some of his lines are groan-worthy.
Putting it scientifically? We need to blow his brains out his ass!
And some are amusing.
Yo, the coal train don't go woo-woo. It's woo!
And the same holds true for many characters in the game. What the dialogue does best is create a sense of camaraderie that bonds the characters together and makes you feel like you know them well. With this connection established, Gears of War 3 flexes its storytelling muscle in some surprising and moving ways. A trip down the coal train memory lane could have just been a lighthearted glimpse at his glory days as a star athlete. But instead, as it paints a picture of the life that used to be, the horrifying reality of the life that is begins to sink in deeper than it ever did before. By the time you see this chapter through its hallucinatory climax, you don't just have a whole new understanding of Augustus Cole, you have a richer understanding of what it must be like for everyone still alive on that war-ravaged planet.
Cole, please.
Gears of War 3 delivers some truly emotional moments and boasts the best storytelling the series has seen so far, complemented by great facial animation and excellent pacing. As you journey from ship to shore and beyond, you visit a variety of beautifully designed locations. These places all have meaningful connections to the story, so every narrative detour feels natural. The same goes for the gameplay detours. Logical on-rails vehicle sequences link major locations, providing exciting interludes that last just long enough to add some welcome diversity. Gears of War 3 doles out the cutscenes, combat, and changes of pace in skillful measure, and this balancing act holds true within the on-foot firefights. Conflict zones vary widely in size and shape, encouraging you to mix up your arsenal in order to be more effective. A new type of enemy spawn point often encourages you to advance and flank actively in order to shut it down, all while contending with an impressive variety of fierce foes.
Look out!
What are those things, Saki?
Yeah, I ain't never seen one happen!
The tried and true combat mechanics are once again in top form. Bullets hit their marks with satisfying squish noises, and chainsaws proclaim the carnage with mechanical roars. The guns you come across will be largely familiar to series veterans, providing a gruesome and satisfying array of ways to deal death at all ranges. The pace and intensity of combat changes drastically depending on your difficulty level and how many cooperative teammates you have along for the ride. The Gears of War 3 campaign supports 2-player split-screen and 4-player online cooperative play, and it is an absolute blast to play with friends. Having actual humans on your team increases the campaign's natural sense of camaraderie, though the friendly AI still makes for very capable computer-controlled companions.
Check out the cool new hat.
Coal train runs on whole grain, baby!
Still, having more folks along for the ride increases the likelihood that you'll discover neat environmental touches, like hidden collectibles and out-of-the-way ammo caches. Playing in arcade mode gives you the chance to earn a high score for your skills, as well as modify the action in some challenging and amusing ways through unlockable mutators. If you're looking to test your skills against more devious intelligences, the Versus mode provides a bunch of great maps upon which to do battle. Up to 10 players can clash in a variety of game modes, including staples like Team Deathmatch and Capture the Territory. There are also some Gears-y variations like Capture the Leader, in which you must take an enemy player hostage while protecting your own leader, as well as Execution, in which you can only finish a player off with, you guessed it, an execution. A number of these Versus modes have limited respawn counts, creating the possibility for some incredibly tense final showdowns. Death can come quickly on these battlefields, especially if you get close enough to put the new sawed-off shotgun to work. Fortunately, newcomers can play in a kiddie pool of sorts before swimming with the sharks. Once you join the murderous multiplayer hordes, you find that skillful movement is almost as crucial as skillful shooting. The difference between slow players and nimble players is more drastic here than in other shooters, meaning with some practice, you can move around the map significantly faster than your opponents. This makes for a special breed of competition that deftly serves up the thrill of a great kill, as well as the heartbreak of seeing your own intestines paint the floor. Two distinct cooperative modes offer even more great Gears gameplay. The Horde mode introduced in Gears of War 2 makes a return here, once again pitting up to 5 human players against wave after wave of bloodthirsty locusts. This time around, however, players can use money earned by killing locusts to build fortifications and bolster their defenses. From a simple row of spikes to a makeshift turret to an apparently very convincing cardboard decoy, each element helps you deal with the enemy in a different way. The more you build, the better your improvements get and the better your chances of survival. You can only build between waves, however, and coordinating who is building what while scavenging the area for ammo is frantic fun. If you want a taste of how the other half lives, there is Beast mode. This is essentially an inverse Horde mode in which you spawn as the Locust and try to slaughter increasingly strong groups of human survivors. Playing the bad guy is every bit as sinister and satisfying as you want it to be, and like in Horde mode, you earn currency for all your gleeful murders. You then spend this resource to spawn as the type of Locust of your choosing, from the humble ticker to the hulking berserker. Time limits can be pretty tough in the early going, which forces you to aggressively seek out your prey. It can definitely take some trial and error to get the hang of each type of creature, and you may find yourself trying to execute a familiar maneuver but failing to do so. Not all Locusts can use cover, for example, and sometimes your healing screams seem to stick in your throat. Fortunately, once you've worked it all out, Beast mode makes for some gory and challenging fun, with a range of difficulty levels that make it accessible to anyone. In fact, accessibility is one of the strengths of Gears of War 3. Though it is an undeniably intense shooter, it scales very well to accommodate a range of skill levels. This is just one facet of the pervasive attention to detail that suffuses the whole game and gives you the sense that you are experiencing the pinnacle of the series. From the taut versus competition to the two great cooperative modes, Gears of War 3 delivers immensely entertaining experiences on both sides of the Locust War. But the real triumph is the campaign, a masterpiece of exciting gameplay and emotional storytelling that stands head and shoulders above its predecessors. Even if you don't remember where you were on Emergence Day, this is one adventure you won't soon forget.
Jump for it! No point! We're so dead! I suppose you want me to say I've always loved you. But I don't. I really, really don't.